I'm someone who unfortunately is the product of the English education system or the English medium education system. The fact remains that I have benefited from that particular education, that I have been in a position to climb the social ladder because of that education system. So to demonize that particular language and to say that we must do away with English altogether, perhaps may be a very convenient position to take after having reaped the benefits of that particular system. But my position has always been that knowing English and being fluent in English is perhaps not the same as requiring English to become the medium of instruction for education. These are two very different things. So that is something that perhaps India must consider, because we are imposing a language which perhaps several millions of this particular country are not comfortable with, when in fact they could acquire life skills and survival skills and education through their own mother tongues and still do better. This is perhaps the one country where it is believed as a default assumption that a technical education or any other utilitarian education in your mother tongue is actually a handicap, and that is the sad part, considering the rich history and the literature that every language in this country enjoys. So according to me, a uniform language system or an English-based language system or education system may not be the right thing to do in the long run. There are multiple examples across the world. India cannot be compared to a Korea or an Israel, but each state in India can be compared to an Israel or Korea, which means that it is possible for technical education and professional education to be imparted in native languages. And if somebody wants to go beyond the confines of a state, it is always possible to have a bridge course or an exam which he has to clear in English or any other language, so that he is in a position to operate outside of a state. But you must look at decentralizing education so that there are people who can practice in that particular state. If you are only producing English educated medical professionals or engineering professionals, you are producing them not for India's benefit but for the benefit of those who want to go and settle in the United Kingdom or in the United States, which is effectively what is happening with medical profession. So as far as I'm concerned, the language policy needs a serious revisit and a serious reconsideration. If language and Indian languages are ultimately reduced to the ornamental status where they're only used in literature or for festivals, then effectively it acquires the same status as Indian wear, which is now worn only on festivals and not for work, which I think would be to slowly push it towards a gradual extinction, which would be a serious injustice to the history of this land. Language is connected to history, it is connected to civilization, it is connected to the journey of a people. So let us not reduce Indian languages merely to their ornamental positions. They must acquire day-to-day value and day-to-day utility, because whether we like it or not, transactions on a day-to-day basis in a lot of spaces are still conducted in the native language. So what is wrong in people acquiring education in their own media? And it's not as if we are producing employable people as well. Every year reports come out saying that at least 75% of our graduates are unemployable in the industry. So clearly English is not the mantra for employability. There must be something other than that, which is basic skills and fundamental conceptual clarity. When you learn in your mother tongue something, the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis clearly says that people understand it better when they learn in their own languages. I understand that this is perhaps just a hypothesis. It does not acquire the status of a proven theory, so to speak. But common sense tells me that if I learn something in my own mother tongue, I am bound to retain it better, I am bound to understand its spirit better, and I am bound to apply it even better. That's my position.